Tokyo Ghoul is a manga series by Sui Ishida, serialized in Shueisha's seinen manga magazine Weekly Young Jump since September 2011. The story follows Ken Kaneki, a young man who receives organ donations from a ghoul after he is nearly killed. Ghouls are creatures that look human but need to eat human flesh to survive. Kaneki soon realizes he is now half human and half ghoul. The manga has been collected in 12 tankobon volumes as of June 2014. An anime television series adaptation by Studio Pierrot started airing on Tokyo MX on July 3, 2014. Funimation has licensed the anime series for streaming and home video distribution in North America. Plot, characters, Ken Kaneki, voiced by Natsuki Hani, the protagonist of the story. He is an 18-year-old university freshman that receives an organ transplant from the deceased ghoul, Rise, who was trying to kill him before she was killed by a fallen I-beam. After the operation he develops ghoul-like tendencies and characteristics, and his rationality begins to wane. As one that is now both ghoul and human, he struggles to keep his ghoul identity secret, always fighting against his ghoul side while trying to continue to live like a normal human. He later works as a waiter for Antioku under Yoshimura's guidance. After his fight with Amon, he gains the name Eye Patch because of his mask's design and becomes somewhat famous after a ghoul saw him defeating Amon. He loves to read and is normally quiet and reserved. He has a bad trait of easily trusting strangers, which sometimes puts him in life-threatening situation. After being kidnapped by a ghoul from an organization known as Agiri, he is mercilessly tortured by a sadistic ghoul, named Yumori, and later develops similar traits like his torturer. While being tortured, he has hallucinations of Rise as she mocks him about his mother. Kaneki breaks down when Yumori killed a pair of friendly mother-son ghoul to torture him mentally, which, in addition to the hallucinations, leads to him finally embracing his ghoul self, and chose to fight in order to protect people he cares for. He remains the kind old Kaneki but no longer shows mercy to enemies and becomes cool-headed during fights. Takaka Rishima, voiced by Sora Amamura, a 16-year-old ghoul of the 20th Ward, that works part-time as a waitress in Antioku and attends high school. She blends in well with human society and believes that keeping one's ghoul identity is of topmost priority. She is sometimes vindictive and is usually a very rash and reckless individual with violent tendencies. She also isn't afraid to let anyone know when she is not fond of them. She later becomes Kaneki's training partner, and their movements become in sync when fighting as a team. She is a good fighter and is more than a match for either Tsukiyama Shah or Nishio Nishiki on even grounds, though not nearly as strong as Yomo. She later becomes to be known as Rabbit after her attack on some investigators, killing one of them in the process. She takes up the role as Inami's guardian after her parents are killed by investigators. She appears to have ornithophobia. Rise Kamiyashiro, voiced by Kana Hanazawa, Rise is a girl with glasses that Kaneki encounters, and tries to eat him after luring him out on a date with her. Her organs are transplanted into Kaneki after she is killed by a fallen I-beam. Before the I-beam incident, Rise was a very powerful, fearless and merciless ghoul, often preventing other ghouls from hunting in areas she stole from them. Before she came to the 20th Ward, she wreaked havoc in the 11th Ward, attracting the anti-ghoul investigators to the ward. Before leaving, she killed the ghouls that were in charge and caused a shift in power. She is known as the binge eater by investigators, and like Kaneki she was very fond of reading. Nishiki Nishio, voiced by Shintaro Asanuma, a ghoul that is a second-year student that attends the same university as Kaneki. He is arrogant and hates whenever his juniors backtalk at him. He is very territorial and is hostile to other ghouls that invades his space. His hunting grounds were stolen from him by Rise after a fight which he lost, and he tries to reclaim it after her death, but is stopped by Toka. He is a loner and fairly good fighter that even small groups of ghouls tend to avoid him. Like Toka, he blends in well with human society and is well known at the university. Yoshimura, voiced by Takayuki Shugo, the manager of Antioku, he is a very kind and reasonable ghoul that provides aid and food to ghouls that are incapable of hunting on their own like Kaneki and Inami. he takes Kaneki in after he becomes a ghoul and teaches him the ways in which ghouls can blend in with humans. Renji Yomo, voiced by Yaiki Nakamura, Yomo is quiet and reserved and usually helps Yoshimura out by collecting food for Antioku. Before working on the behind-the-scene for Antioku, he used to have very violent tendencies, much like how Toka is now, and would often fight with Yuta, making the Fourth Ward uninhabitable. Regardless of his cold demeanor, his does genuinely care about those around him. He is good friends with Yuta and Itari. Yuta, voiced by Takahiro Sakurai, a ghoul that owns Hizi Art Mask Studio. In the Fourth Ward, he makes masks for both ghouls and human customer alike. Despite his appearance, he is a very calm ghoul, and speaks very kindly. He is also close friends with Renji Yomo and Itari. In the past, he would often get into fights with Yomo, and this caused the Fourth Ward to become uninhabitable. Inami Fuguchi, voiced by Sumaya Moroshi, Inami is a 13 to 14-year-old ghoul that came to the 20th Ward with her mother after her father was killed by ghoul investigators. She is very shy and yearns for knowledge as she isn't allowed to go to school. She meets Kaneki in Antioku and becomes attached to him, seeing him as an older brother after he helps her with learning kanji. She begins living with Toka after her mother was killed by Mado. She enjoys books from one of Kaneki's favorite author and loves learning new things. She is shown to have a heightened sense of smell, even more powerful than regular ghouls. Shota Tsukiyama, voiced by Mamoru Yano, he's one of the most troublesome ghouls of the 20th Ward, to the point where even some ghouls wouldn't get involved with him. He is known as the Gourmet by investigator and is one of the most difficult ghouls to capture. He is a part of the ghoul restaurant under the alias He is a very powerful, cunning, smug and fashionable ghoul, and was also an acquaintance of Rise. Like both Kaneki and Rise, he is an avid reader. He sometimes says words or phrases in either English, Spanish, French or Italian, and develops an obsession for Kaneki. He is very athletic and proficient in martial arts. Hideyoshi Nagachika, voiced by Toshiyuki Toyonaga, Nagachika is Kaneki's best friend, nicknamed Hyde. He has a sharp intuition that while Kaneki tries to keep his ghoul identity hidden from him, Nagachika seems to know something is weird about his best friend. Kiryu Mado, voiced by Taruo Ekawa, he's an anti-ghoul investigator with the rank of senior investigator. A very experienced and ruthless fighter, he is more than a challenge even for the physically superior ghoul, and always trusts his intuition, which is never wrong. His ultimate downfall came from the fact that he is obsessed with ghouls, and while fighting Toka and Inami let his guard down by his fascination with the latter and is killed by them. Katara Amon, voiced by Katsuyuki Konishi, he's a rank 1 anti-ghoul investigator and a friend of Mado. He has a very skewed sense of justice and believes that he must make this wrong world right by killing the ghouls. He is very dedicated to his job and begins to work even harder after Mado is killed. He fights Kaneki but loses, however Kaneki lets him go. Yuriko Kosaka, Taka's friend. Kumi Nishino, Nishiki Nishio's girlfriend. Juzo Shiozuya, media, manga, anime. An anime adaptation by Pierrot began airing on Tokyo MX on July 3, 2014. The opening theme song is Unravel by TK from Lingtosite Siga, and the ending theme is Saints performed by People in the Box. Episode list, reception. Tokyo Ghoul was the 27th best-selling manga series in Japan in 2013, with 1,666,348 estimated sales. As of January 2014, the manga has sold around 2.6 million copies with an anime planned for summer 2014. References. External links, Tokyo Ghoul at Weekly Young Jump official website, Tokyo Ghoul on Twitter, Tokyo Ghoul Episode 1 Higiki, a plus or minus a degree Celsius a euro e deciliter a 1/2 a euro a koya euro a plus or minus a euro. Tokyo Ghoul's special site at Weekly Young Jump official website, CY cubed Celsius degree to the first occurrence on Twitter, Sui Ishida's Twitter, School of Ghoul, Tokyo Ghoul the Fool, official anime site.